Hi, this is Alison again, and I'm going to continue with my series on self-shiatsu massage. We had worked with the head, neck, and shoulders, and I'm going to continue with the arms, the chest, and some of the back. So again, I'm going to start with some breathing just to center myself. If I was doing a session and continuing, I would just move on. Again, you can use these techniques as a sequence or incorporate any of them at any time that you feel would make sense. It's always good to start with some breathing. Breathing in and exhaling. Bringing a little love and compassion. Tuning in. So we've done some shoulder rolls and loosening up. I might start with that again before moving down through the arms. And I can start with some squeezing, just gentle squeezing. The upper arm, the forearm, leaning a little bit in, allowing the weight of my body to enter through my hand to the other arm. And the rocking just helps to relax, ease. You can also do a little bit of rolling of the muscles over the bone. Now, the yin meridians are traveling from the earth to the sky if we were in this position. So in the arm, the yin meridians would start sometimes in the center of the body and travel down through to the fingers. And the yang meridians would travel from the sky back down towards the earth, so would travel along the back of the arm and along our back. So I'm going to begin this sequence with some pressure on all the yin meridians. So I can use my palm and rotate my arm outward, working down to the palm. You can do that several times, breathing in and exhaling as we lean. I can alternate or continue on the same arm with the yang meridians. In this case, I'm going to go to the other side. And then for the back, I'm going to use a little leverage again with my elbow. My 4 fingers can engage and my palm, the muscles in the back of my arm. Rotating the forearm over, I can lean in. Now, working each meridian, I'll start with lung, which travels through to the thumb, starting from the fold in the chest, between the arm and the chest as you fold. This is lung 1. You can lean in with your thumb or a fist. Inhaling and exhaling 2, 3, 5 times, whatever feels right. And then continue working down, leaning in, allowing pressure to come into the flat part of my thumb, down through the elbow, and all the way down towards the thumb. Again, I can do that several times. There's a point right in the crease of the elbow that is nice to press, not too hard. It's good for elbow pain. Working the heart constrictor meridian, it travels in the middle line down to the middle finger. Similarly, I'm leaning applying pressure, allowing pressure to enter through my thumb to my arm. And coming to the wrist is a heart constrictor or pericardium 6-point. And this is good for nausea or alleviating nausea, not to bring it on. Be gentle, it's where you feel a pulse. And then the heart meridian, which goes along the pinky side and starts under the armpit. Same thing, breathing in and exhaling all the way down towards the wrist. I usually like to repeat at least 3 times, then I'm going to move to the other side. For the yin meridians, again starting with lung 1, and that fold. Could use 4 fingers, could use a fist, could also use a tennis ball. Roll. Working down along the thumb side to the crease of the elbow, continuing down towards the wrist. Leaning in and receiving. Heart constrictor down the center line. The heart constrictor meridian relates to the support structures in the circulatory system, our blood vessels, the muscles around the heart. And the heart meridian, traveling from underneath the armpit, along the pinky side, the ulnar side, of the inner part of the arm. You can find that heart constrictor point, 8, on the wrist. Breathing in and exhaling, lean. Moving on to the yang meridians, we have the large intestine meridian, which runs from the index finger all the way up, and it actually continues along the shoulder to that point by the nostril. And we're going to just work in the arms today. So again, I'm leaning in by rotating my forearm over, using my thumb. And I'll find this point below the crease of the elbow, large intestine 10, and one above, large intestine 11. They're often very tender. They're where muscles insert onto the elbow. And these are good for pain, tennis elbow, tendinitis. If you work a lot at a computer, this can be helpful. I've used these techniques when I was working in offices. And continue up, all the way to the tip of the shoulder where the clavicle meets the shoulder. Again, do this several times. Breathing in and exhaling. Establish a relaxing rhythm. Moving on to the heart triple heater, which runs in the center line. Again, I just keep my forearm rotated. I can use my thumb as I work up towards the elbow. And then use my 4 fingers on the upper arm, leaning away. This meridian can also be very tender if you have fever, if your immune system is out of whack, if you're cold. It's where we shiver, hold ourselves when we shiver. this meridian is good for supporting our immune function as well. And then the small intestine meridian, which runs along the pinky and ulnar side of the arm, on the back side. Again, I'm using my forefingers in this case, leaning away on the forearm. Coming up through the elbow and continuing in the posterior part of the back of the arm. Triple heater or triple warmer travels through the behind our shoulders and again lands up by the temple here, which is a good point for alleviating headaches. On the other side, I'm going to work again along the large intestine meridian. Find that large intestine 10 point below the crease of the elbow, 11 above the crease of the elbow. Continue up to the shoulder. There's a little notch. That one can help with pain in the shoulder. Triple warmer meridian in the center line. I can use my thumb or forefingers. And I like to use the forefingers on the upper arm and lean away. You can do the forearm several times and then the upper arm, and you can continue both forearm and upper arm several times. Continues back and lands up the temple. The small intestine meridian along the pinky side. Using my four fingers, leaning away a little bit. So come to the elbow and reach around to the posterior part of the back of the arm. And that meridian continues up into the face, in front of the ear, the jaw. Moving on to the hands, you can do some wrist rolls. Using the fingers, stretching back and forward. Out and in. Can use two fingers to squeeze one point. This is a large intestine 4 point, and the small intestine 3, like a claw. Squeeze. There's a little indentation on the pinky side and an indentation on the index finger. You could slide your finger up, your thumb, and find it. These are good points for general health and well-being. On the large intestine meridian point is a prominent point in acupuncture. Good for relieving headaches. You can also press it, as I said, by sliding the thumb up, finding that notch, and leaning in. The large intestine meridian. Stroke on the inside of the palm, working between the fingers, rest it on your thigh. I'm going to alternate hands, but you can continue all on one hand and then do the other, whatever feels right. Whatever suits your fancy. Can also do little pressure points by rocking and breathing in, exhaling, and doing separate pressure points between the fingers in the palm. And then in the center of the palm, there's another point on the pericardium or heart constrictor meridian, heart constrictor 8. This we also used to call the test-taking point. It's good for relieving anxiety. So breathing in, exhale, and lean. This is a good point for these times. So on this side, find that point. Breathe in, exhale, and lean. You could use your nail in this case for a little more literally pointed sensation. You know, people wring their hands when they're anxious. Well, they're soothing this part of their body, which also soothes the rest of the body because of the meridians or energy pathways. We don't really know exactly where these meridians or what they are, where they exist. They can follow our blood vessels, our muscles, our tendons, ligaments, or not. They're in, often the points are around the joints and these notches, around nerves. This is an area of study. It's really fascinating. So continuing along the back of our palm, again, you can stroke. They could be electromagnetic, energetic lines through the body. Working through between the digits. And then along the fingers, stretching outward, giving a little squeeze at the base of the nail, where a lot of the meridians begin or end. Again, you can rest your hand on your thigh. A squeeze gives a little wake-up call. Tuck. And I can lean away as I do this. And I can shake them out to see if I'm loose and jiggle or do something silly like this. Continuing with the chest, there's a point in the center along the sternum called conception vessel 17. That's a good point. That's a heart point to ease and soothe our emotions, particularly grief. You can use your palm or a fist or a thumb, finger, breathing in and exhaling. And our heart chakra, heart center. Work along under the clavicle. There's a kidney 27 point in the notch by the sternum. Lean forward, looking out. Stroking from the sternum gently outward between the ribs. These are good movements, or a technique for encouraging the lymph flow. You can also do little pressure points in each notch along the sternum where the ribs connect. So in between the ribs. Can relieve tension in the ribs so it can open up our breathing and also stimulate the lymph glands. can do long one, holding in. Again, you can use a ball, tennis ball, or even a racquetball for pressure, cupping one hand over the other. And you can roll that. You also use this on top of your shoulders, going down. That's good. And we can do stretches to the side to engage our side and lengthen, breathing in and exhaling, again allowing gravity to pull. You can again reach over. Side. You can do a spiral, a spinal twist, breathing in and exhaling, reaching around the thigh and to the back, bringing your chin over the back shoulder, breathing in, releasing and exhaling, spiraling and stretching. Other side, breathing in and exhaling. And also grab around the waist. You can also interlace the fingers and thumbs, stretch back and down or forward, reaching the hands up towards the ceiling, breathing in, easing, exhaling, stretching. Open up the lungs, open up the chest. And it's difficult to do the back, but if you wanted and you had a firm back to a chair or a couch, you could use balls again, place them on either side of the spine, and breathe in, exhale, lean back. You could try that even without a firm back. Maybe place the balls in the palm of your hand and inhale and exhale, lean back. You could use your fists or your fingers and work all the way down to the sacrum, maybe even the side of the hips. And then to end this series, we'll do the hara in the next one. We'll place one hand on the belly, perhaps below the diaphragm. You can place the other above or around the navel. This is our hara, our center of ki energy. Ki being the Japanese term for energy that flows through the meridians in the body. And full breath in and an easy exhale. Notice any changes.